Michael, you talked about how much our globalised, industrialised, increasingly petroleum-based food supply is contributing to climate change and greenhouse gas emissions. And therefore, if we're serious about climate change, we're going to have to change the way we produce.
That's right. Food is about 20% of the problem. As big a part of the problem as, say, world transportation systems. So if we're really serious about tackling climate change, we're going to have to take a very hard look at the food system and basically wean it from fossil fuel to the extent we can. We're using absurd amounts of energy to move food around the world. I mean, today in America, if you buy salmon from Alaska, a very sustainable fishery, by the way, that salmon typically is shipped to China to be filleted and then back to the United States. This makes no sense at all. California exports tomatoes to Mexico and imports tomatoes from Mexico. So there are all these kind of absurd loops that we have to take a hard look at. If you go back 100 years, you could produce 2 calories of food for every 1 calorie of fossil fuel you put into the system. And that was usually just for tractors and things like that, farm equipment. Today, in the United States, it takes 10 calories of fossil fuel to produce 1 calorie of food. That is a deeply unsustainable situation.
Or tell you that if you have more CO2 in the air, plants will do better. And in fact, this is exactly true.
For the past 3 years, Dr. Rizzo has been growing sour orange trees in enclosures containing double the amount of CO2 than normal. The carbon dioxide enriched air is continuously pumped into the chambers and escapes up through the top. At the same time, identical trees are kept in exactly the same conditions but are fed normal air only.
These trees are planted directly into the ground. This chamber here is getting twice the normal amount of carbon dioxide as what is in the atmosphere. You see the trees are growing quite well. They're taller than we are. Over here is a companion chamber that is receiving only ambient or normal air. And the trees here are only half as big as the